What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. I am working on a bunch of random stuff. I need all of this stuff. I have worked on a lot of random things. You can see a big one right here. I've upgraded our controller setup. But I don't know how many of these take. 8 of them. Okay. That's still more than 8, but you know what? I'm fine. So we're getting some systems over here set up. That already has its energy upgrades. Let's go ahead and do 4 of these in each for now. I need to give them some muffling upgrades, but for now, we have some production stuff going on over here. We're getting our iron shards and iron clumps from our purifying and injecting factories. I actually just spent like 20 minutes trying to get these things to work. Apparently, they don't like gas conduits, which is fine for me. I only need the one output for each gas anyways, since I'm using factories. But I was also freaking out because for whatever reason, they weren't accepting the ore. Apparently, they don't like accepting individual ingredients until the other ingredient is in there. Which, to me, is beyond weird. I haven't tried using conduits to see if they'll accept it before that, but they might. I went ahead and I set up a... Look at how many of these it can accept. Like 10? No, 8. There, you're gonna have all 8. This thing will be maxed out. This is producing our hydrogen chloride from hydrogen and chlorine. This one is producing our chlorine. Well, it was producing chlorine. The chlorine is going over here. But now it is going to burn through all of that to produce our iron shards and clumps over here. As well as our tin clumps and shards. That is one thing I've worked on. I've worked on quite a few things. I set that up last time. That is producing mechanical components. We're going to overhaul this today because this is not keeping up with our creosote demand, especially because it's tied to how much coal coke we have. So we're going to like massively upgrade this. We're also going to be producing some potion crafting today. You can see I've added more stuff over here. One of our potions that we needed to automate was splash potions of harming. And all of this stuff is going to be for other things later. The enders, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them in there or not. I might swap these two, maybe. Either way. I've also added some stuff over here, including some bucket stuff. I've moved buckets into here, and I moved our pressurized air tanks up to here so I can increase how many we have. As well as I've added packed ice, bone stuff, and cookie jars. Because we need to automate cookie jars. That is almost an entire crafter just dedicated to cookie jars. But I put the bone meal bag here as well. That being said, another big update that I have done is we've added a second quarry that is collecting 10 iron ores, allium, which that's full, and coal, which I haven't been farming for the longest time. One more big update here. I've built us a place for our blood altar. Finally. We're going to move our blood altar over here. I have the second one that is just sitting here so I can see the spacing and everything for how to make it. You can see we're missing some glowstone blocks to make the next tier. And all of these black granite blocks are where the runes go when we actually place them. I think I have I have the runes in storage. But our next big upgrade is I have connected our ME system up over here, and I have set up an on-demand system for the alchemy table and Hellfire Forge, which if I did things right, this Hellfire Forge will also swap out our Tartaric gems as they empty out. If I did it right. I'm hoping I did. Our alchemy table here is producing all of our essences. I have the recipes in here. The only one that needs to go over here at the moment is strengthened catalyst, because it requires these simple catalysts, which I need to push into the splitter for it to be able to craft properly. So I can't do that on this one because the way I'm doing it is just blacklisting and whitelisting certain things for each side, and I can't blacklist the simple catalyst on this one, otherwise my recipes for the first tier essences won't work at all. Hellfire Forge is a similar concept. The only thing going into here at the moment is glass bottles, but as I need them, we can add some more things to that. It does work. I have tested it, and I have also, we can grab this and set them up at the moment. Somewhere in here, I have added wireless access points. So I now have a wireless access point underneath here, and this should have enough range to reach our base over there as well. So I can now access everything here. So I have some slates in here, or some runes. Yeah, 27. I don't need that many, but we're going to grab them, and we're going to get our tier 2 runes in place. There's nothing on them yet. They're just blank runes. And then we're going to move our blood altar from where it is over to here, although I may just move the runes because our blood altar is currently full of blood. And then up here, we'll grab the runes that are over there. But let's grab some glowstone. And this will give us, essentially, a tier 3 altar once I bring these runes over. Okay, we have 2 runes of self-sacrifice and 2 speed runes, just because that's what we wound up with, and 4 runes around the outside, and we should have a tier 3 blood altar now. Let's go ahead and stick that in there for now. But that should give us a tier 3 altar, as long as everything worked right. I don't think it increases our capacity at all, but we can make runes of capacity stuff to help with that. That's not what we're going to work on at the moment. Our big push today is I want to get our next set of reagents going, because we need to get to those to get to Britannia's beginning, which is to collect the flowers. So in here, we need to make our next blood orb, which I should have all the stuff to make this, with the exception of the icy cores, and I don't think I have the iron promise acceptor made yet, but I do have the undead logs. These frost reagent. That is a tier 2 essence, or a tier 2 reagent. Here we go. So these guys, I need to make potions of haste, and they're haste 4, so there are the annoying ones that we have to go through multiple steps to make. But everything else for all these reagents are automated. This one is just real easy. And the growth one is melons, maple, and eucalyptus saplings. And bone blocks, which we have millions of bone block stuff. The maple and eucalyptus saplings, I did happen to have some, and I've added them in here for farming. I don't expect to really need a super huge amount of them. But I've also extended our wall over here, connected some trim down here so we have access to them. Look at that, we have 8 stacks of each already. And 128 stacks of melon, so I'm not worried about that. But we need to get a potion going to be able to make our haste reagent. Now, the potion stuff is a whole mess to make. I have a messy inventory. Let's put some stuff away. There we go, much cleaner. Now, as I was saying, one of the things that we need to make is potion stuff. Now, what is it? Like the imbuer or something? I made some. So we need this alchemical imbuer, and the one we need to make is the potion of haste. These are two more that we're going to have to automate, so I might set those up as well. And if you're curious, these are the next tier of essence. I don't know if we're going to get to those yet. But let's see if we can get some stuff set up for all these potions. They're really annoying because they require a fluid transposer to actually bottle them. When you need to make an alchemical retort and a fractionating still for 2 steps. And then you need chemical imbuers from the beginning. So we're going to make an awkward potion imbuer that is going to make just a whole bunch of awkward potion. And we're going to upgrade it. You have a Ignalum upgrade kit in here for that. Yeah, this is going to supply all of them. And then I need augments for that. I need these alchemical retorts. I need a total of like 6 of these. Okay, I think we have everything for this. We're gonna go ahead and put it down here along with this stuff. And these are 5 steps each. 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course. How can I do this? The way we're going to do this is our first alchemical imbuer is going to go right here. This is the one where we're going to have everything starting off. Let's go ahead and I can slap a fluid interface here for water. Where's our water? Water. So now, doing that, we're going to get nether wart into here. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong there, but that was working. So that is going to be producing this stuff. Let's go ahead and pop a conversion kit on it and give it a bunch of augments. So that'll produce that plenty quick. We have lots of awkward potions sitting in here. We're going to have fluid transposers right here. And let's go ahead and remove everything. We're going to export to there, import from the back, and import from there. Now all of you are going to do that. Let's go ahead and add our filters on for these. They're going to get a glass bottle. So each one of these is going to get bottles. Is their sole input. Okay, for our next one, we're going to be working on our haste potion here on the bottom. So in order to do this, we're going to need 2 fractionating cells with alchemical retorts. I believe this is the same for all of them. So alchemical retort. And this one is also going to be alchemical retort. Okay, so this is just going to be the 6 fractionating stills. And put one of these into each of them. There we go. All 6 of those are set up. And now's where it actually gets a little more interesting. So we're going to need 6 alchemical imbuers right here. And for our haste one, we're going to have to set up all of them the same here. But for our haste one, which is the one I'm more worried about at the moment, I need to set up filters on the inside. Let's set our fluid conduits And I need to disconnect that one. Okay, so these have our awkward potion in them. For the haste one, I need to give it the Saul's powder. That's a interesting choice there. Let's add Visal's powder onto you. Before I set you to insert, let's get our next one set up, which I think is just glowstone. So for the next one, it is, yes, just glowstone. Now you should be getting that. You're going to be cooking up some potion. And now we should see it go through all these steps and end up with a potion at the end of it. There we go. We got some potion of haste. It would help if I add glowstone into here. So this will make our, what is it, like the 8-minute haste? Which gets pushed into here. Gives us haste 2. Which gets pushed into here to give us haste 3. Which pushes into here, giving us our haste 4. And when we have enough of it, it will bottle it. And the bottle gives us potion of haste 4. Nice. And I can push that into there. Now, what I'm going to do with 39 bottles of water, I do not know yet. But now, I get to go through the same thing, setting up these ones for our next 2 potions, which are Potion of Strength and Potion of Swiftness. I think the Swiftness is probably the easier one to set up first. Again, it's just glowstone and sugar. And with that, we should have all 3 of our potions going. We got our Potions of Swiftness. And we have our Potion of Strength. So that should give us all the stuff that we have up here, which are all tier 4s. And I can take them off our list now. So now, with that done, let's just chuck some stuff in here. Get them out of our inventory. Now, we should be able to set up some recipes for the tier 2 reagents. Then I can just tell the system to autocraft them for me. So, for our tier 2 reagents, we have Frost reagent. If I can set it right. We just remove the Tartaric gem from its requirement. That gives us our Frost reagent. The Haste reagent. The Wizard's reagent, which is probably the easiest one here. Oops. Got to remove the gem from that. And finally, our Growth reagent. And I want to say it's this Growth reagent, which is what gets us actually into whatchamacallit? Botania. So you can see my setups over here. Go ahead and add them in with the rest of the reagents. Nothing special for any of these ones. So I should be able to say, come in here. And just give you my first one of each. There we go. We have our Frost reagent. Our Growth reagent. Our Haste reagent, which is probably the one I was the most worried about actually getting set up properly. Because our gem is not swapping out the way it's supposed to. So there's our Haste reagent, and then we need a Wizard's reagent. Work nice and smooth, no issues. Hopefully I can get this gem thing figured out pretty quick. That gives us our tier 2 reagents. And I'm going to go ahead and take the... Actually, before I take any of those, what do we actually need for the floral fertilizer? Grab some floral fertilizers and use it to gather up all 16 colors of Botania flowers. You can craft them into petals, plant them, grow them with bone meal, and finally shear them to get more. So essentially, we don't need this for a super huge amount. Looks like we need it for a few odds and end items, but for the most part, I don't think we're really going to have to do anything with this. Just get enough to get the flowers, and then we're done. But to make it, we need a slime ball, bone meal, wizard reagent, and growth reagent. So let's go with the growth reagent. That one's more expensive of them. But in order to get to our tier 3 reagents, we're going to need to make a common tartaric gem, which I kind of want anyways, but in order to get this, it requires making these cores, which are actually pretty expensive. They require the haste reagents, Sanctus, which I think I have automated. Do I have that in here? I do have it in here. Yeah, let's move that right there. But I do have that stuff in there. I do not have the core stuff set up yet, mainly because the orbs don't like to work with applied energistics. It's a little weird. But either way, that's our reagents set up. But the thing I really want to get to today is I want to play on this side. So in order to really move forward on this side, we need to get automated blood going. And in order to get automated blood going, we need to get to this. In order to get to this, we need this golden promise of tenacity. So we can make gold promise acceptor. I think I have enough blood to be able to do all this, so it's just an empowered glod crystal block. That I should have easily. Hey look, I have 64 of them. So stick that in there, I get my gold promise acceptor. In order to make this into the thing, I'm going to need 2 bowls of promises and 2 holy cores. Which that means I need, and this is where all these essences come into play. Oh, right. I made a stack of each essence that we have available already. So I already have the Sanctus. But we do need a bunch of this haste reagent. Let's see if we can tell it to make 10. I have 3. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be waiting on this stuff for a minute. Where's the hold up here? Power. Why don't you have power? Not entirely sure what happened there, but they're running again. I swapped them out for these conduits and then back, and now they seem to be working just fine. I'll have to keep an eye on this, though. I do not understand what happened there. Oh, there we go. We're getting our potions of haste again, which means we can now get our reagents. So I should have everything for this with the exception of our orb, which I have one sitting right here. So there's our 2 holy cores. I'll take our orb back before it shoves it into the system. Our gold promise acceptor. And now we need to make a couple of these bowls of promises again. So we need strength 1, which means we have to put it back through again. But to make these, go ahead and set up some recipes to automate this a little bit. I don't think I need a super huge amount of these, but this saves me a lot of random steps. And as wild as it may seem, we are actually starting to fill up again on these molecular assembler interfaces. Almost every single one of them is already halfway full. So it might be almost time to be ready for an expansion. So if I look at bowl, oh, I have them already. I don't remember making them, but I have them. I won't complain. There we go. We have our Promise of Tenacity 2. I think replaces this one. Yeah, it replaces that one. But we get a whole bunch of blood filling in there. I have a drum, which is emptying out pretty quick. I need to make that a bigger drum so I can add more to it. But there we go. We got 89,000 in there. And now that gets us a glad. And, oh, we get some haste reagent back. Awesome, thank you. So now we need to make some dull dust and some bloody dust. Yeah, that's not too bad. Neutral reagent. I haven't made that yet. Was that the tier 4 or the next tier? I think that's a tier 3 reagent, but I should be able to make it. Doesn't look like it's anything super ridiculous. Hold up. Concrete. I have to make concrete? Okay, I have 64 light gray concrete. The rest of this I should have available. So I should be able to stick that in our Hellfire Forge, which is down here, and be able to request that. So now we needed, what all do we need for this stuff? Dull dust. Okay, we needed 4 of this for the quest, which, oh, we also need crepitus. That's not too bad. I need the concentrated catalyst though, which I haven't set up. Let's add some recipes. So this catalyst, we should have everything to make it, as well as everything for this crepitus. Double compressed cobblestone. I have mob grandium, terra orbis terra, grains of infinity. Yeah, I have all this stuff, so we should be able to just request what I need, which, as we saw, was just if I can learn how to spell. Just needed 4 of these. I have to make sure that the recipe for the catalyst is actually set up in here, as it requires. Okay, the RF powder is in here. Catalysts are in here. Help if I turn that to insert as well. And that should be on extract. And everything here should work. Should. But we're going to find out. Now let's do it from over here. We need to request 4 of these. Yeah, that didn't work. I think the other problem is that we need an upgraded blood orb. That I should be able to do pretty easily. So to make the upgraded blood orb, we needed this frozen blood core, which is just 4 icy cores, an iron promise acceptor, and 4 undead logs. These 4 cores I should be able to do. Just 12 of those and this stuff. Which I think I need to order more reagent or catalyst for that. Okay, so we should have everything. I don't. I need some frost reagent. Need 11 of them. There we go. Our crafting is complete on our catalysts. One of my other ones is just broken, so I'm gonna have to go fix that in a minute. We should get our frost reagents here, assuming our will hasn't run out again. I am going to work on upgrading these Arteric gems as well. Now we should have everything for our icy cores. We have our blood orb. We have 4 icy cores. Add an iron promise acceptor, which I need to make. And then our undead logs. Okay, I have that. Oh good, this isn't taking too long. There's our iron promise acceptor. And we have a frozen blood core. Which from what I know is just stick it in the altar. 25,000 LP. Well, I don't have 25,000 LP at the moment. But I can. Let's grab our sacrificial dagger. Grab some blocks I can work with over here. Place our liquid meat down. Take this orb out. Go ahead and get some blood going. There's nothing in it. Am I not close enough? I'm not close enough. Okay. I don't like how close this is getting. There we go. 2,500 life essence left. Hi. I just smacked you with my other dagger, then I'd get your blood. But there we go. We have our first magician blood orb. So we're going to go ahead and right-click that. I'll stick it in here. This also has a much larger life essence capacity. It's what? 150? Yeah, 150 life essence. 150,000 life essence. So now I can stand here all day just to fill this thing up. Also, you would not believe how many times I've killed myself with this stupid dagger. I can't wait for automated life essence. But with that, I should be able to swap this out for the orb in here, and would you look at that? Well, it worked for a second. Okay, my catalyst setup definitely doesn't work the way it needs to. But you know what? I don't even care about that right now. We've got our Magician's Blood Orb. We've got our stuff to be able to make our Crepitus. Which, what did we say we needed? 4 of them? I'd help if I give it the right Blood Orb. And there we go. We have our Crepitus. And then we need to make our Dull Dust. Did we make the neutral reagent? Minimum 300 will. I need to upgrade my gem. Oh, why do you have to be so annoying like this? For a common gem, I need a magical core, environmental core, and a holy core. Well, I can make these after I go take the stuff for the neutral reagents out of the system. Alright, I should craft those. So annoying. What else was it? Magical core. Environmental core is growth reagent. And then I need a holy core. Well, it's a good thing I just emptied out one of the gyms, because that gives me one that I can upgrade with. I have a full one to put in here.